A different kind of school. Do you know these words? If you don't, find out their meanings. Bandage, crutch, cripple, honor, misfortune, system. Look at the pictures in this unit and guess in what way this school may be different from other schools. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. When I arrived, there was no one in sight but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with a bandage. This is a story of a school where the children were taught to help each other. The author had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school. They said that she was using new methods of teaching to make the children better citizens. The author wanted to see it all himself, so he had gone to visit Miss Beam's school. As the author entered the school, he saw a girl whose eyes were covered with a bandage. She was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Miss Beam was all that I had expected. Middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had a kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. The girl was being led carefully between the flower bed by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. The little girl stopped and asked who had come. The boy started to describe about the author, and they passed on. The author then came to Miss Beam. Miss Beam was a middle-aged lady, full of authority, but was very kind and understanding. She was a kind of plump figure. Miss Beam told the author that her teaching methods were simple. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. The real aim of the school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others and being responsible citizen. Look out of the window a minute, will you? The students learned simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest of the activity is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they had to sit still. The real aim of this school, she said, is not so much to teach thought as thoughtfulness and kindness to others. The author looked out of the window and he was little worried. I went to the window which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see 2 more with the same difficulty. And there's a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seemed to be hopeless cripple. The author saw a large garden and a playground at the back. Miss Beam asked the author what he saw. The author replied that he saw some beautiful grounds and children. But he felt very sad as the children were not healthy and active looking. He also said that he saw a girl who had trouble in her eyes and she was led by a young boy. He saw 2 more children with the same difficulty. Then he saw a girl with a crutch who was watching others play. Miss Bean laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not really lame. This is only a lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. This is very important part of our system, to make our children appreciate and understand misfortune. We make them share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has 1 blind day, 1 lame day, 1 deaf day, 1 injured day and 1 dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely and they are in their honor not to peep. The author was surprised when Miss Bean told him that the girl with the crutches was not lame. Again, the girls with their eyes bandaged were having no trouble in their eyes. That was an important part of the teaching system. To make children appreciate and understand misfortune, the school made them share in misfortune. The children are bandaged or made lame so that they understand what this misfortune really is. Then others are told to help them so that they learn to help those who are in misfortune. So each term, every child had 1 blind day, 1 lame day, 1 deaf day, 1 injured day and 1 dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely and they do not peep out. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. There is no misery about it, Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though, even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. The bandage was put on overnight, so they woke up blind. That means they always needed someone to help them, to lead them. The blind and the helping hand both learnt a lot during this period. Miss Beam said that everyone are kind and they enjoy it just like a game. But at the end of the day, they understood the trouble of being blind and what misfortune was. The blind day is of course really the worst, but some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage children's mouths, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here is a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam, and left us. Miss Beam said the blind day was worse, but yet some children felt that the dumb day was the most difficult because it was very difficult to bandage the children's mouth. It is their own willpower to do so. Then Miss Beam called the author and asked him to listen how the children felt during their turn. Miss Beam led the author to a bandaged girl and introduced him and left the place. The author had to accompany the girl. Don't you ever peep? I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating. But I had no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you would try. Shall I lead you anywhere? I asked. The author asked the girl if she peeped when she was tied on a bandage. The girl said it would be cheating. The author felt so happy to see the honest girl. Now the girl explained that she cannot see a thing and was so conscious about every movement because she was frightened whether she may hit on any object. She said that it was such a relief to sit and relax instead of walking. The author asked if the helpers were good and kind to her. She said, fairly they are very helpful, but they were not so careful as her. The girl also said that the person who has already acted as a blind one is really of good help because he can guide a person with his own experience. Then the author asked the girl if he could lead her anywhere. Oh yes, she said, let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days can't be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help and things like that. I don't think I'll mind being deaf for a day. At least not much. But being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I'll get hurt. Where are we now? The author led her for a short walk. The girl asked the author to tell her about the things around her. She shared her experience of the days when having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch, which was almost fun. She also said that once her arm was tied and she felt difficult because she couldn't eat without help. She also said that she never minded being deaf, but being blind was more frightening. The girl asked the narrator where they were. In the playground, I said, we are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. I think it's Millie, she said. What color is her hair? The narrator said that they were in the playground. He started to guide her. He said that Miss Beam was walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. The girl asked the narrator what dress she was wearing. The narrator said that she wore a blue cotton skirt and pink blouse. The girl said that it must be Millie. She asked the narrator what color was her hair. Very light, I said. Yes, that's Millie. She's the head girl. There's an old man tying up roses, I said. Yes, that's Peter. He's the gardener. He's hundreds of years old. And here comes a girl with a curly red hair. She's on crutches. That's Anita, she said. The narrator said the color of her hair was very light. Then the girl confirmed that she was Millie, the head girl. The narrator said that there was an old man tying up roses. The girl with the bandage said that he was Peter, the gardener, who's 100 years. The narrator said a girl with a curly hair came in crutches. The girl said she was Anita. And so we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. After the short walk, he found that he had already become 10 times more thoughtful than before. He also realized the pleasure of describing things and people. These things had become more interesting for him by doing so. Finally, he said to Miss Beam that he felt sorry to leave the place. Miss Beam proudly said that there was something special in her system.